What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are out in the S2000. I'm gonna go ahead and get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna wash it. I'm not gonna do like a full deep clean or anything like that, but I do have to wash it, and there's stuff dripping on the roof apparently. But I'm gonna have to get it washed because I went up to the Dragon and I went on another mountain as well, and they were both heavily salted. The car got a bunch of salt on it, but here in the background, you can see if I can reach it. My new roll bar from this is a Hard Dog roll bar. And I picked it up actually from another S2000 guy that races with NASA, and was really excited to put it in the car, and we got it put in, and as you can see, there's not really anything back there anymore as far as like plastics go, but what we're going to be doing with all of those is actually cutting them and then figuring out how they fit around the bar and stuff like that before we put the hard top on. So and there's another piece that should be coming in very soon that I think you guys will be very excited to get a look at. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get out and wash the car, and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Well, I tried to get everything off the car using like a normal, you know, like pressure washer based car wash, and basically there's a whole bunch more salt sitting in like all the crevices and stuff than I thought there was, and it's still like splashed all up over the car. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. You can see how it's splashed all up out of, like, you know, all the little crevices and stuff like that. So we'll have to go back and actually like clean it, you know, do a properly deep clean on it, because obviously spraying it off is not gonna fix this stuff. I mean, like, look how much salt that is. It's just like so much of it just splashed out. So anyways, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and, if I can get my key, we're gonna go ahead and get back in the car, head back home, and show you guys the actual thing that this vlog was supposed to be about. But this video is all about my new gaming PC, which is basically doubling as a rendering rig. So basically the story behind why I built this PC and why I got this PC. And first of all, before I go any further, I want to thank my friend Matt. You guys may know him as Mustang Matt. Recorded a bunch of videos with him back a while ago, back in like Forza Horizon 2 and some in Forza Horizon 3. You guys that have seen the Titan versus GTR drag racing video, he was in that. He helped me out with that. But basically, Matt helped me put this PC together, and I cannot thank him enough. So massive thumbs up to him. Did an awesome job with that. And basically, I'll take you guys through the entire build, and I'll show you guys some of the highlights. But basically, just to get some of the highlights right out of the way, we're running a Threadripper 1950x. We're also running a EVGA 1080 Ti, and a few other little goodies as well in there. Now, the PC itself is all air cooled except for the CPU. I decided to liquid cool the CPU because the Threadrippers are known to run just a little bit on the hot side. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through the PC, and I hope you all enjoy. Alright, so now I'm going to actually go over the list of parts in this PC for you guys, and I'm not going to go through the entire list because, I'll be completely honest, I have forgotten a little bit of it, but I'll go through the major pieces of the build so you guys know exactly what's in it as far as like core parts and stuff. So the AMD Threadripper 1950x processor, it's 16 core, 32 thread, it's a monster, it really works, it really does its job well. For cooling of the CPU, well, for CPU cooling, we're using the Corsair H100i V2 liquid CPU cooler, and we mounted it in the front, as you saw earlier, we mounted it in the front of the case instead of on the top of the case because we wanted to put a bunch of exhaust fans up in the top of the case. So, I mean, we debated where we wanted to put it for a little while, and then we decided to put it in the front of the case because we decided that was a little bit of a better option. And then next up, my phone keeps going to sleep on me. Next up, for motherboard-wise, we're running an Asus Prime X399 AEATX TR4 motherboard. It's a really nice board. It doesn't have like a ton of crazy like RGB in it or anything like that. I mean, it does have a little bit of RGB, but nothing too crazy. I'm not running any RGB fans or anything like that. Really what I cared about with this build was power. That was the main thing that I cared about, was the power, the overall reliability of the PC. That's why I went with a list of fairly reliable parts. And I also, one of my big targets was like, I don't need some crazy case. That's why I went with a Corsair 750D. Full tower, you know, so it'll fit everything that you want it to fit, but it's not, you know, some like crazy over the top like ridiculously flashy case. I don't need a ridiculously flashy case. I just need the stuff inside of the case to do its job and do it very, very well. And I think the 750D does a pretty good job of that. I mean, really, it does a pretty good job of keeping all of that in order. Now, hard drives wise, we're running a 1TB SSD and a 2TB HDD, as well as a couple of external drives that I use just kind of day to day, and I may also be moving some of my HDDs from the other computer over into this one, because it came with two hard drive cages, and we took one of them out because it was blocking one of the locations where we wanted to put one of the fans, because we also have a fan up underneath, an exhaust fan up underneath to pull air out as well, but we will still have room for plenty of drives with the one cage. Graphics card wise, now originally I was going to run an MSI 1080 Ti, and basically what ended up happening was I ordered, quote unquote, ordered the card from Newegg, and something got messed up with the order, and they ended up, basically there was this long story, and like they didn't ship the card, and they canceled the order. So long story short, and then they sold out of them. So long story short, I ended up getting a EVGA 1080 Ti, which was not the original card I was looking at, but now I'm really glad that that's the one I got, because it's, oh my god, it's such a nice card, and it really rounds out the build really well. I love the way it performs, I love the way it looks, I love the way it cools itself down. It runs really nicely. I mean, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head what the temperatures were, but the last time I checked them, they were running very solid. So yeah, that was an awesome choice in my opinion as far as graphics cards go, and it does everything I need it to do. It does like literally absolutely everything I need it to do. Now, for power supply, we're running a Corsair RM850X. My old PC had one of the older RM850s. Like I said, the new one has an RM850X. I feel like the RM850 and like just the 850 watt range is a really good range for pretty much anything that doesn't need like super overkill power. For my needs, it does an absolutely amazing job, and I don't really have any complaints about that power supply whatsoever. It's got a bunch of really good, it's got a bunch of good hookups in the back to pretty much power whatever you need it to power, and I mean, it was fairly easy to hook up. There was literally no issues hooking it up. There's a few other things in here that like don't really need to be mentioned, like, you know, my wireless card and things like that, because I run the computer wired anyway, but I still wanted to have the option of running it wireless. I also, aside from the case fans themselves, I also added 4 Be Quiet fans, just so the computer would be a lot better to, would just have a lot of air moving through it. Basically, I wanted to have as much air moving through this machine at once as possible, because I wanted to have that CPU cooler functioning very well, obviously, but I also wanted everything else inside the computer to be as cool as possible. Alright, so I'm sure you guys will notice a difference in light and also a little bit of a difference in my voice. It's the next morning from the day when I recorded that video previously, but I decided not to actually run any like footage tests in this video, because I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what, this video was more to announce the PC itself than to do a bunch of demo footage, and it's like I didn't want to just show you guys like PC footage of MudRunner, for example, because you guys have already, you know, you guys see that, you know, on a regular basis. And I feel like, as far as demoing the capabilities of this PC, there are other games that I wanted to use, but I didn't quite have time to get all of those installed on the PC last night. I mean, the PC it's very new. It's pretty much clean right now as far as like games that are installed on it. I just have like 2 games, I think, and that's not quite adequate to do a graphics demo. So anyways, like I was saying, basically what you guys are going to get is a bunch of footage over the course of the next, next week or so. I'm going to be demonstrating the PC a lot, and then continuing on into the next year, you guys are going to be seeing PC footage almost exclusively from that PC. And by the way, like I said, forget my voice, I just woke up. It's the next day from when I filmed all the previous parts of the video, but I am extremely excited to see where this whole PC actually goes. And by the way, you see that light switch in the background that's taped? Yeah, basically the reason why that's taped is because it cuts off like
I forget which exact electrical outlet it cuts off, but it cuts off one of them, and if you cut it off, it shuts off all of my equipment in here. So I taped over it because I didn't want that to happen. But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments down below what y'all thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see y'all next time. Talk to you guys later.